Question 90. Consider the following statements. Recently, all the countries of the United Nations have adopted the first ever compact for international migration, the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly and Regular Migration. The objectives and commitments stated in the GCM are binding on the UN member countries. GCM addresses internal migration or internally displaced people also in its objectives and commitments. So I have given an article from Hindu as a source. So let me just show you the article. So this is the article, a retelling of the Indian migrant workers' plight. So it is a matter of serious concern that despite being the largest migrant sending country, India has yet to have tangible and comprehensive migration policy that upholds workers' rights. So it was published on December 2022. So in this article, if you come, this paragraph says the United Nations through its non-binding resolution. So you should not, it's a non-binding resolution. Global Compact for Safe, Orderly Migration and Regular Migration recognizes the challenges migrant labor faces across the world. In this context, Government of India has yet to revisit its policies in its post-pandemic migratory scenario by engaging all the stakeholders by passing the Immigration Bill 2021. So let me just go back to the question. So here, adopted the first ever compact. All the countries of the United Nations have adopted, it says. There is no mention about that. We will revisit this statement. The objective and the commitment stated in GCM are binding. It's non-binding, so statement 2 is false. So third statement is GCM addresses internal migration or internally displaced. If you see the context, also Global Compact for Safe and Orderly Migration, I didn't see this point, third point, being mentioned anywhere specifically, but definitely if you go in depth, you can see that they cover the internally displaced people also. So this is a very possible statement, and that's all. You could say this 3 is true in that sense. So let me just go back. Whenever you read something like Global Compact or something, you should take the wiki page and have a basic idea about this. Okay, so this is the wiki page for Global Compact for Migration. So intergovernmentally negotiated agreement prepared under the auspices of United Nations that describes itself covering all dimensions of international migration in a holistic and comprehensive manner. So here it says international migration. It's a non-binding cooperative framework. So it's a non-binding cooperative, it's just a framework. So that's one thing. And if you come down, there are, so as you can see, USA voted against this, India voted for this migration. So this for this Global Compact. So that is it's a big page. There are some criticisms about this also. So some of the criticisms, like compact could potentially be interpreted as defining migration as human right, which he said can and must not be the case. So some criticism is there for the compact, and US was voted against it. And if you see, the compact was formally endorsed by UNGA on December 2018. So that is there. Again, this is the basic details about Global Compact for Migration. So this is a basic pattern. Like whenever you read something like this, Global Compact or something like this, you should take the wiki page and have a basic understanding, note down the important points. So if you go back to the question, recently all the countries of the United Nations have adopted, that is wrong. And second statement, it says binding, that is also wrong. Third statement is the only statement that is right. So yeah, if you go and read GCM, its objectives and all, I personally didn't see anywhere that it is mentioned internal migration or internally displaced. But if you read the overall document, you will get an idea. They address these internally displaced people also. Yeah, that is why I said 3 is right. Yeah, okay, moving on to the next question.